Hello all, in the previous task we learned about supervised machine learning. In this task we will be doing a project on prediction using unsupervised machine learning. Aim of this project is to predict the optimal number of clusters and represent it visually from the given iris data. To achieve this we will be using KMeans Clustering, which is an unsupervised machine learning algorithm in the iris dataset. What are the differences between unsupervised and supervised learning? Unsupervised is a type of machine learning algorithm that happens without human supervision. The machine tries to find any patterns in data by itself. The model is given only input variable and no corresponding output data. Applicable in clustering type problems. Next, supervised is a type of machine learning algorithm that happens in the presence of human supervision, meaning people label input data with answer keys showing a machine the desired output. And the model is given input and output variables, then algorithm is to learn the function from input to output, and this is applicable in classification and regression type problems. Importing required libraries for this project. The required libraries are NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, and sklearn. Now, reading the dataset. Next, data.head returns top 5 rows of the dataset. Data.shape gives the number of data points and its columns. Data.info gives the total idea about the dataset. Irish dataset has sepal width, petal width, and species. EDA and exploratory data analysis. Plotting histogram for petal length, petal width, sepal length, and sepal width. And finally, plotting the scatter plot for sepal length and sepal width for species Setosa, versicolor, and virginica. From this graph, we can see that Setosa is linear and versicolor and virginica are not linear. Now, applying K-means clustering for the above data. Clustering can be done by following steps. Selecting the number of clusters you want to identify in your data. In this case, we are going to use 3 clusters because it has 3 different iris types, which are iris setosa, iris versicolor, and iris virginica. Therefore, the k-value is going to be 3. Random selection of 3 distinct data points. Those points are initial clusters. Measuring the distance between first point and 3 initial clusters, assign the first point to the nearest initial cluster. Continue step 3 for remaining points till we get 3 different clusters, calculating the mean of each cluster. Now, creating the new data frame using petal length and petal width of iris data set using pd.dataframe. Next, defining its cluster value to each species of iris dataset. Cluster 0 is iris setosa, cluster 1 is iris versicolor, cluster 2 is iris virginica. Next, adding cluster to the new data frame created using petal length and petal width. Now, from sklearn.cluster, importing k-means. Next, defining k-means equals to 3 number of clusters. Training the model and finally plotting it for iris setosa, iris versicolor, and iris virginica. This red indicates iris setosa, green is iris virginica, and blue is iris versicolor. And these values are centroids for those clusters. for those respective clusters. Conclusion: therefore, the optimal number of clusters predicted is 3. The main aim of this task is to predict the optimum number of clusters and represent it visually. So we have predicted 3 clusters for this high-reach data set, and also we have visually represented the data. Thank you.